What type of posts should you create for LinkedIn? I've spent hours reading the most proven viral content on the platform, and in this video, I'm going to give you 8 different post types that you can use for your content. And I'll also give you a free resource that'll help you reverse engineer proven viral content. This video is part of a playlist where I do a deep dive into how you can use LinkedIn to grow your brand and find high-paying clients. So check out the rest of the playlist if you want to get started writing and creating on LinkedIn. Mockups of tweets are a popular format on LinkedIn. A lot of the big accounts use them, and I've used them, and I find they get quite good engagement. That's because if you create an image like this, that's a pithy and concise statement, it's going to take up more real estate for people using LinkedIn on their desktop, but particularly on their mobile. And if they like or agree with the statement that you've tweeted about or turned into an image for LinkedIn, and I'll show you how to create one of these quickly in a moment, then they'll probably go ahead and read the rest of the post. In this case, Justin has a pithy or concise statement about who he likes to spend his time with. So the idea that, you are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. And then it's an idea he articulates in the text portion of the post that goes along with this image. And obviously he's a huge account, so he gets quite good engagement. But I found even for smaller accounts, this format can work well. So you can create these in one of 2 ways. If you have a Twitter or X account or whatever they're calling it these days, head over to your profile and find a post that you like. So here's one here I picked at random. That's all about what people think about your content. And you're going to copy the clipboard, or you're going to go to the URL, I should say, and you're going to copy the URL to your clipboard. Then you're going to head over to tweethunter.io/tweetpics. So this is free to use, so don't worry, you don't need to pay anything. Then paste in the URL and click on screenshot. And it's going to automatically create a screenshot of your tweet. So I'll give you 2 designs you can pick from straight away. So you can get white or a grey slate background. But if you want to create one that looks just like Justin's, just simply click on this and then you can change this to black. And I found that black backgrounds work quite well for me and my content. And you can make some other changes as well. So you can actually remove this box and you can change the color of the links, the verified status, and even the dimensions. And you can even repurpose this content for other social media networks as well. So I could put this on LinkedIn and I could also put this on Instagram. Now, what I tend to do is just download it for Instagram and post it directly on LinkedIn. So I think that's what Justin has done here as well. The other way to create a Twitter mockup is to use Canva and then just simply search for tweet. And it'll give you lots of different templates that you can pick from. If you're going to pick one of these, just remember to pick one that looks good on a mobile device and that doesn't have an obtrusive background. So as an example, this one here is portrait, so it might be a bit weird to put on LinkedIn. And this one here has imagery for the background, which could potentially, I suppose, overshadow the text. Here is the template that I created. And every time I wanted to write something that wasn't on Twitter, I just simply pasted my text in here and I just clicked duplicate page and then share and downloaded it as an image to my desktop and added it to LinkedIn. And this is what the results look like. Now I did change subsequently to the black and white text option because I found these got a bit more engagement, but certainly a good format, one that's proven and one that a lot of creators like. LinkedIn carousels are pretty popular. These are basically PDF presentations that you upload to LinkedIn. And the idea is that people click through them on the desktop or swipe through on the mobile. So you're getting people to read and engage with your content, even though they may have scanned the text that's above it. Now I created this one by simply pasting text into an app called Taplio. I have another video on the channel where I explain how Taplio works. It's not the cheapest tool out there, so you don't necessarily need to use it to create your carousel. And actually, to be honest, this design is maybe a bit too simple and lacks visual pop. So here's another carousel that I created in Canva. And Canva is quite good for creating these types of carousels. Just simply search for carousel. And then there are dozens of different versions that you can pick from and customize. Now, if you're going to create a carousel for LinkedIn, just remember it takes longer to create than other post types. And if you pick a complicated design, you will have more to customize. So I tend to opt for more simple carousels, but I do try and do one every week or every other week because they get quite a bit more engagement. And then again, you will need to download it as a PDF for it to work properly on LinkedIn, so not as an image file. The other good thing about carousels is you can actually repurpose them for other networks like Instagram, so definitely a format to experiment with if you have a lot of text-heavy content you want to turn into a post. An emerging format on LinkedIn is short-form video plus text. So this is something that Nate Berman uses quite effectively on his account, and he's quite a big account, so I recommend following him. So basically, he recorded a 1 minute 20-second video where he speaks directly to the camera in portrait mode, and where he's added captions, and then he has some text that goes along to support the idea in the post in question. Now, if you're going to create something like this, it's pretty easy to do. So you can use CapCut to edit your video and to add the captions, or you could also use Veed as well, and I've used both of these tools. Now, LinkedIn isn't a video platform yet, even though they are experimenting and pushing some video content into the feed. And I've noticed that this type of content tends to appear more prominently on the mobile device or on the mobile version of LinkedIn as compared to the desktop. And that might explain why Nate has quite a long text post to go along with this video. But it'll be interesting to see if LinkedIn, I suppose, is going to start competing with Instagram and YouTube with a lot of short form content. And obviously, if you have short form content elsewhere in another channel, you could potentially repurpose it for LinkedIn, but you're not going to want to have that YouTube or TikTok logo there. So I suppose it's probably a better idea just to record the content natively for LinkedIn. Infographics are another format you could consider for LinkedIn. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of them. I'll explain why in a moment. But Richard van der Bloom uses them to good effect. This one here about the 8 causes of procrastination. It's supported by a lengthy text post. And actually, while I'm talking about the text, there are some formatting tips you can pick up from Richard. So he uses white space quite liberally because he understands people are reading this on the mobile device. So short sentences are key. He also presses the line break and manipulates his words so they look visually pleasing, a type of pyramid here. And he also uses emojis and checklists to write for scanners rather than for people who are reading. So I'd say this is directly written for people on their mobile device. Now, in terms of the infographic itself, it's just an image that you upload to LinkedIn. And if you want to create one, there are dozens of different templates in Canva. The reason why I don't like these personally is I find they take ages to create, even if I'm using a Canva template. And sure, I could just ask a designer on Upwork or Fiverr to knock one up based on content they already have. But personally, I found that carousels get the same results, are a bit faster to create, and to be honest, they're also a bit easier to create, at least for me. But if you have the content and you have a designer, or if you have infographics, it's definitely a format to consider. Here's a post type I intend to do more of in the next few weeks and months, and that is personal stories and personal content. So rather than creating a mock-up of a tweet or using some sort of clever carousel or infographic, Tim here has a photograph of him. It looks like he's at the Louvre in France. And then he has a personal story all about how he overcame drug addiction and set up a successful business and now has a happy family life. And I found that these types of posts tend to work quite well because firstly, people get to see who you are. They get to see an actual up-to-date photograph and not just a professional headshot. Secondly, you can demonstrate movements, so you can show that you're out and about and doing things, and this demonstrates to people that there's a real person behind your business and not some sort of staid or boring corporate brand. And thirdly, a personal photograph works quite well if you're writing personal stories, and it gives people an opportunity to bond with you. And of course, if people bond with you through your content, they're more likely to buy your products, your services, or whatever you're offering. So perhaps a good content strategy could be, and maybe it'll be one I'll consider, is to write one kind of personal story a week like this using a photograph. And then for some of your other content, you could consider using the tweet pics, carousels, and so on that I mentioned in this video. Here's another post type that works quite well, one that I've been experimenting with, and one that Heather Murray does quite effectively. It's where you open the door and show people what's happening inside your business. So in this case, Heather is posting all about a new service that she's offering. She's calling it the Subscription Hub, and she's describing about when she's going to release this. And then she talks about what's working, her marketing tactics, and some of the challenges she's facing. And then she has a call to action about how people can get in touch with her. So she's not directly trying to sell on the post, or she's not, providing some type of insight or telling people how to do things. She's just talking about what's happening in their business. So if you've done something interesting over the past week or the past month, or you've helped a customer or client in some way, perhaps there's a way you can turn that into a kind of story-driven post, or a post where you're honest and you reveal what worked and what didn't work. And again, this type of content is quite good because people love reading this kind of stuff because they get to see there's a real person behind the business and not just a robot or somebody who's posting how-to content every day. You don't need to worry too much about great photos, carousels, and infographics to do well on LinkedIn. So Greg Eisenberg regularly puts up listicles and simple text-based posts. And he doesn't include any photographs or imagery, so he just provides ideas and resources for his audience who are interested in starting a business. So this is a simple listicle, 31 ways to find your next 10k month startup idea. And then he provides 31 different strategies or tactics that his readers and followers can follow through with. And text-based posts, again, can work quite well, particularly if it's a shorter text-based post. This is actually quite a long one because it's something people can read quickly on their mobile device. Because remember, people are probably using LinkedIn if they're bored at work or on their lunch break or on the commute. And if it's a text-based post, it doesn't take too long to create either. So if you're finding carousels or infographics are taking too long to write, then you could simply put up a couple of text-based posts and schedule them out for the week. And then you're getting content out there that could help you grow your account. And actually, if you're interested in growing your account, on the channel, I have another video where I explain exactly how you can grow or rapidly grow the number of connections you have on LinkedIn. And I talk about why it's unlike any other network. So head over and check out that video. A lot of content creators post how-to content on LinkedIn. How to do X, how to do Y. And this type of stuff is fine, but to be honest, thanks to AI, it's pretty easy to create and replicate. Enter insight content, and this is something Sam does quite well. He's one of the biggest accounts on LinkedIn. So he regularly ghost writes for big companies, and he provides insights about what's working or not working based on his experiences. So in this post, he's not necessarily providing tactics or how-to information. He's just providing a single insight about how you can grow your account. And in this case, he's talking about being consistent and turning up early and often. And obviously he's married this insight with a Twitter mockup that's based on his branding. I suppose it's a departure from a Twitter mockup because it has these colors on the side, but it is unlike any of the other Twitter mockups on LinkedIn. Basically, he's not telling you how to specifically do something, but he is providing an insight about what works and what doesn't work. That's just a selection of some of the most popular formats that you can create on LinkedIn. Now, it is useful to find people in your niche or industry and see the types of content that they're creating and then add your own slant using that particular format. I'd also recommend heading over to taplio.com/lookup. And again, this is free to do. And you're going to put in the name of somebody's account. So in this case, I've just simply copied Sam's profile name and pasted it into Taplio. Now, if I press enter, it's going to show me the amount of followers, posts, engagement, and so on that he has. But what I'm actually looking for is his best posts over the past 30 days. I could copy all of this to my clipboard and then paste it into my writing app. And then I could use the format or the structure to write something unique with my own voice. And if you want to search for more than 30 days, you will need to take out a premium subscription to Taplio. And I'll show you how that works in my Taplio review. But certainly a good way to reverse engineer popular content on LinkedIn. Just remember not to plagiarize or copy somebody else's ideas. It's just simply the format and structure that you're following. As useful as it is to reverse engineer popular content, and as important as it is to understand the most popular formats on LinkedIn, you could just simply read a great copywriting book. I have another video on the channel where I list out some of the top copywriting books that are out there. But basically, if you understand the principles of copywriting, then you can write a great LinkedIn post. All you have to do is use some personal stories and write in a way that captivates readers. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, it's part of a playlist where I do a deep dive into how you can get set up on LinkedIn, start creating content, grow your account, and find clients. So don't forget to watch the rest of the videos on that playlist. And if you have questions, ask me in the comment section below this video.